Alrighty then, Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 751. When does Frontlist become Backlist? Got an eyeball looking at me. When does Frontlist become Backlist? New books in a series. So every time you have a new book, that's a new promotional effort. That's your Frontlist. That's the new stuff. So every new book is Frontlist. So does that mean every old book becomes Backlist? Well, maybe, kind of. Backlist is that stuff that's your residual income. That's your residuals, that's your older stuff. And it could be, if you're publishing a book a year, it could be everything except the book you just published. And for me, I consider my backlist pretty much everything except what I just published within the last couple months that I'm still promoting as new. New is usually within the 30 days that Amazon puts you on the new release list. And new release list, it's 30 days unless you're number one in that category on new release, and you never stopped being number one. I think the longest I've been on the number one of the new release list was 53 days because I was number one on it and stayed number one for that long. So as long as you're number one, you're never coming off the new release list until the instant that you stop being number one, and it's longer than 30 days. So just a point of order on that 30 days. And generally 30 days is the Amazon cycle for giving you love, giving your book love, as long as it's still selling and selling well. They help those who help themselves. It's like, oh, I can't sell my book unless Amazon pushes it. Well, then Amazon's not going to push it. They will help you if you're selling your book. So it's mutually beneficial after you've proven that you can sell your books. So everything else is backlist. Now, the great thing about a backlist is every new reader that you bring on board, and I'd like to think that all authors are trying to bring in new readers, whether in-person events or advertising, marketing, just asking people to, hey, share with your friends if you like this book. A street team, those people who go out on the street and shout your accolades. That's every person who comes into your books, and even if you have 10,000 readers, there's 1 billion readers of English. So if you're listening to this in English and you're writing English, guess what? 10,000 readers, you have a great career if you have 10,000 solid readers. If that means there's 9.99 gazillion people who haven't read your book, and so as you have a backlist, all of these people become opportunities for your backlist to keep bolstering your revenue. I know people who make $100,000 a month off their backlist. Now, the backlist is extensive, but then again, so is mine. I don't push a lot of books, but I do push the first in series. So that's what my backlist is all about, me pushing and promoting that first in series. I have 23, 24 different series, so I can do 2 different first in series a month and only recycle after a year. That's different than most normal people. Normal people, you might have 4 books, you might have 6 books, you might have 20. But the backlist, that first in the series, is a loss leader, and that's where you've got to maintain and keep your attention on the read-through. If you can sell the hell out of book 1, but nobody's reading book 2, guess what? You got a problem with book 1. It's not resonating with the readers whose hands you put it into. Are they the right readers? Is the book good? What turns them off? And now you've got to do other damage control to figure out why aren't they reading onto book 2. And then your loss leader, that's going to be a lost career because you can't get that first. What is wrong in that first book that they're not reading the second or the third? So, but as long as they are reading through with some kind of regularity, and 50% is a decent number. If 50% of your readers read through from book 1 to book 2, you win. If it's 25%, try to figure out what went wrong with that first book, and then some future series fix it and make sure you don't turn off the readers at that rate. However, even 25%, if it's backlist, you can make money off it because it's 25% will move on. So are you going to make money off that? You put on your business hat and do the calculations and say, yes, I can. So that's it. What I also say is nothing sells the last book like the next book, and nothing sells that first book in a series like the newest book in a series. I'm up to book 19 in my series, and lo and behold, published book 19, and all of a sudden we saw a bunch of sales on book 1. Nothing sells that first book like the newest book. So just keep those going. If you have a long series, great. Make sure they're fresh. Make sure they're good. Make sure the readers are engaged. And if you're getting that 95 to 99% read through after a certain point, well, are you making enough to continue the series? So that's my question as I write book 20 next in that series. Am I going to keep going? So Backlist. What is the value of those 19 books? And we're going to run a massive promotion when I publish book 20 with like books 1 through 3 for free and 4 through 19 for 99 cents. That's still, if somebody buys the whole series, that's still a good chunk of change, and somebody has all the books. And then when we publish book 21, hopefully they come on board and keep reading and keep buying and collecting. At that point, they become collectors, and they want all those books. So there you are. Frontlist. Frontlist is just your newest titles that are still like within that 30-day window or still in that new release, that fresh, that new car smell that you like when you get into a new car. That's the front list. And if you only publish one book a year, your front list might be almost 12 months old, which is okay. You're still promoting it as the front list, but though you've got those previous books, those are the money makers because those are your long term, and you can always promote the hell out of that first book. If you do a bunch of standalones, the brand, you promote the hell out of the brand, and that's you. And what are the readers going to consistently get from these standalone novels? That's what you're selling. And all Backlist, opportunity to make money. Every time you bring a new reader in, you win. Because you show them, hey, oh, by the way, I've got these other, if you like this one, I've got these other books. Peace, fellow humans.